But we begin with Chief White House Correspondent Ed Henry traveling with the president tonight in Newport, Wales, site of the NATO summit. Good evening, Ed.
Good evening, Bret. This was basically a do-over, a chance for the president to clarify his no strategy disaster. But instead, the new comments were so muddled that his staff ended up having to clarify the clarification.
President Obama struggled for the second time in 6 days to articulate precisely what his strategy is to deal with ISIS. He started his news conference in Estonia strong, declaring the gruesome beheading of a second American journalist, Stephen Sotloff, would not intimidate America.
Those who make the mistake of harming Americans will learn that we will not forget and that our reach is long and that justice will be served.
Yet when two American reporters today pressed the president on last week's miscue about having no strategy to deal with ISIS in Syria, he gave two vastly different answers.
So the bottom line is this. Our objective is clear, and that is to degrade and destroy ISIL so that it's no longer a threat, not just to Iraq, but also the region and to the United States.
When pressed on that, the president backpedaled and appeared to soften the promise to destroy ISIS.
We know that if we are joined by the international community, we can continue to shrink ISIL's sphere of influence, its effectiveness, its financing, its military capabilities, to the point where it is a manageable problem.
The tentative, meandering second answer from the president quickly put him back on defense. So White House aides tried again to explain what he meant about ISIS, saying this is a two-step process, where in the short term he tries to make the problem more manageable while ultimately working to destroy the terror group. As Vice President Biden weighed in at an economic event in New Hampshire and was more strident than the president.
They should know we will follow them to the gates of hell until they are brought to justice. Because hell is where they will reside. Hell is where they will reside.
Republicans quickly mocked the idea that people whom the president refers to as barbaric killers can be managed, after British Prime Minister David Cameron today came out swinging again, declaring unambiguously that ISIS needs to be squeezed out of existence.
The president should come up with a strategy, present it to Congress, address the American people, and tell us how he believes we should stop them. This is not, in my view, a manageable situation. They want to kill us. We've had this experience before on 9/11.
The president was trying to show leadership by stopping first in Estonia, a NATO ally that is one of several Baltic countries nervous about Russian President Vladimir Putin expanding his invasion beyond just Ukraine.
Estonia will never stand alone.
Republicans charge those types of assurances are necessary because allies are simply not confident about American leadership.
There's no credibility. If the president and John Kerry keep talking about coalitions, how are you going to form coalition with people who do not trust you, who know you are totally unreliable?
The president's now also getting a little pressure from Democrat Senators Mark Warner and Bill Nelson, both saying they want the president to come to Congress with a strategy to eliminate ISIS. Nelson going so far as to tell Fox's Gretchen Carlson that he'll introduce a bill authorizing U.S. airstrikes in Syria because he says that's where the head of the snake is. Bret?
Ed Henry traveling with the president in Wales. Ed, thank you.